We told you last week about the unfortunate passing of longtime OETA host BJ Wexler at the age of 83. And this week, we wanted to give you the opportunity to learn more about this fine gentleman who came into your living rooms for 3 decades, prepared as always with hot popcorn, a great movie, and a warm, welcoming smile.
Let's turn the popcorn machine off and officially say hello and welcome.
BJ Wexler was born and raised in the hardworking city of Buffalo, New York. One of 4 Wexler boys, the youngest, Dick Wexler, still lives there. He was the best man in BJ's wedding, and Bruce, the best man in his.
You knew him as BJ Wexler. We knew him as Bruce, so was Bruce Wexler. But we had a special relationship. Growing up, we had a small TV in the house, and he said to me, "You're watching too much TV." I said, "Well, I enjoy it." He said, "You're watching too much TV." So he went around the TV, opened the back, and took out a tube. The old days, they had tubes. I said, "What are you, a producer or something?" He ended up being in TV. So maybe it started then.
The Wexlers have a long-standing family tradition. Before every meal, their mother would gather them together at the dinner table and say, "Good evening, family."
He would answer the phone with his radio voice, his TV voice, "Hello." And I would always say to him, "Good evening, family." And on his end, he would say to me, "Good evening, family."
Dick's last lengthy conversation with his brother took place in December, the month after BJ was first admitted to the hospital. His health continued to deteriorate into the new year, and he passed away on February 10th.
We just couldn't say goodbye to each other. And he finally said goodbye, and I said, "Bruce, would you like some popcorn?" Broke out again. He was just laughing like crazy. That's the last time I spoke to him.
It's been my honor to be your movie club host, and my final words are, thanks for being here, and I'll see you at the movies.
When BJ finally stepped away from the program that he had built into an OETA tradition in 2018, his colleague, Robert Birch, assumed the hosting duties.
There was only one BJ, and I couldn't really, ever do an imitation of him or really do it the same way. Then when we had the 30th anniversary, BJ came back in, and we sort of had the passing of the torch. He leaned over at one point and said, I like what you've done."
It's been a seamless transition because Birch understands what has made the show successful since its debut in 1988. Great movies, no commercials, and a great host.
For most of BJ's tenure, these were, old classic films, black and white, 1930s, 1940s, and the network channels were not really showing these old films anymore. And there was a real thirst out there, I think, for that.
BJ Wexler loved many things, among them movies, popcorn, his wife Ann, and their border collie Jack, though not in that order.
Does he really like popcorn? And is the popcorn real that he has during the movie club? You'll be happy to know that the answer to both questions is yes. Congratulations, honey.
He built an audience for 30 years, built relationships with people over 30 years. And we still get letters and calls from people that were there from the beginning.
Talk about the relationships and how he reacted to camera operators or audio operators or just people he met in the hallways of OETA.
And everybody that worked with BJ was better for it.
He was very easy to talk to. It was like a long-lost friend, and he treated everyone so special. He had a generic name he would call everyone, even me. He would say, "Hello, Dr. Perry." Everybody got a doctorate from BJ somehow.
Hall of Fame broadcaster Bill Perry worked closely with BJ on OETA pledge drives.
When I saw the list of talent and saw that BJ was there, I knew it was going to be a good night. And I'm sure just his very presence and his warm personality that he sent out over the air and encourage people to support OETA financially.
We have this little section in the hallway where people would stop and congregate. And when BJ retired, they officially named that little alcove where people stop and talk the Wexler.
These hallways became his home, a decision he made following a successful start back in upstate New York.
He had a great career actually in Buffalo television for a while there before coming to Oklahoma, where I guess he found a home.
We had an honor my brother for this story at Bill's Hat. So he was the program director, and he ran the Bills games. He was the producer of the Bills games. He found a home in Oklahoma and just loved it. I know he used to do fundraising. He was made for that. He just enjoyed it, enjoyed the folks, enjoyed the family that he had there. That was his second family at OETA.
It's been my privilege to host the movie club and to come into your living rooms each weekend and share these great classic movies with you, your children, and your grandchildren.
The Saturday Night Movie Club this week, Gorillas in the Mist, starring Sigourney Weaver.